Hello everyone. I think we are live now. This is Nelly from The Whole Price, and I'm extremely happy to be with all of you today, especially on such an important day for women. Again, my name is Nelly, and I'm the Chief of Staff for The Whole Price Foundation. And before starting, I'm just extremely happy to be here today because The Whole Price for me has been the platform to give me a place to one, be as empowered as I could have ever imagined, and two, to really reach out and achieve all of the dreams and goals I could have ever thought of. So for that, I will always be thankful with The Whole Price. And I'm also very, very, very happy to be here because I have the honor of introducing today's Digital Speaker Series event. Now, I don't know if you've been following us, but the Digital Speaker Series is back this month for our second season with 2 episodes. This one, I have to say, it's probably my favorite one, inspired on Women's International Day, and the other one on technology, happening, if I'm not mistaken, on March 16th. Nabila and our team can help us confirm on the chat box. But stay tuned to get more information around that. Now, Digital Speaker Series was launched in 2020 with the intention of connecting our more than 2 million alumni from all around the world, and to get to, have conversations beyond the Whole Price on specific topics that interest you as youth, and of course that interest us. This special event, Digital Speaker Series, is being launched in partnership with our official media partner, Unicorn, and they recently launched their 30 Under 30 impact list, specifically on Jordan. And we are truly honored to have a bunch of our staff and our alumni in that list. And the session of today hosts 4 of the super powerful and talented women from that list. My name is Nelly. Once again, I'm only here to give this brief intro about the session. And for those of you that don't know about the Whole Price is the impact education leader organization in the world. And we achieve our mission through trainings, events, workshops, accelerators, and of course, digital sessions, just as the one of today. So without further ado, I'm now going to welcome our moderator of today. She's a rising star, marketeer, and, more than a marketeer, a media guru. She's been hosting a bunch of events digitally for a long time now. Her name is Taima, and she will allow us to, learn more about today's event and specifically of our speakers. So Taima, if you can join me now on the screen and help us introducing our speakers. I'm gonna go back into backstage. Nabil, if you can help me with that, that would be great. And yeah, I can't wait to hear more from everyone. Welcome.
Thank you, Nelly. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Taima Ode, and I work as a full-timer in Whole Price Foundation. And it's my honor to be hosting you, like 4 amazing women recently recognized in Unicorn organization 30 Under 30 impact list. Thank you so much for joining us today and to share your stories and your journey with us. Please help me in welcoming Ala Hamdan, Asma Al-Kayali, Nadine Trimer, and Rena Al-Junaidi, 4 amazing women. Welcome, everyone.
Hello, thank you.
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you to you as well.
Thank you too.
So I will start with some intros, and then I will move back with my questions. So first, Ala Hamdan. She's a storyteller, film director, and co-founder at Films, the production company. She's a pioneer in the entertainment industry as one of the few Arab women operating in the sector across the region. And also, she's the best-selling author with her book that's called Muslim of the World. Hello, Ala, how are you?
Thank you for this nice introduction. Good. I'm very happy to be here, and I can't wait. Some of the people here I know face to face. Some of you guys, I'm excited to get to know more. So
Well, I'm excited too. So please, if you could give us like quick intro about yourself and your work.
I'm a filmmaker. I have a production company, but I mean, the official title would be filmmaker, but I love saying I'm a visual storyteller because I like also taking pictures, and that's how my career started. I started taking photography pictures around refugee camps, around, I would say, less fortunate areas, telling their stories. And with that, my passion grew into filmmaking, where I went to Italy and New York and studied filmmaking there. I think my experience in filmmaking would be fun plus challenging because I would say when I started 6 years ago, women being holding a camera and running around Amman wasn't something usual, wasn't something you see every day. And I still remember the comments I used to hear, oh, take a picture of me. Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to take us to TV. Like, who do you work with? And it was really, I would always hear comments if I have a camera. Now, I mean, things got better because now I talk back. So I a little, but I evolved, and I would say I grew into this industry, and it became truly my identity. Like, I cannot separate being a visual storyteller, a woman, and Ala. Just like they come together, and that's where mostly my work focus is.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ala. Thank you for being with us today. And for sure, we will back to you with the questions. And now, please, we will welcome Asma. Asma, she's the co-founder of Startovia. She's one of the Jordan's leading entrepreneurship trainees under the age of 30. She inspired some of the region's top companies across Jordan, Turkey, and Dubai. Please, Asma, my floor is yours. So introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to join you today. This is Asma Al Kayali. I'm a lecturer, university lecturer at Al Hussein Technical University. I'm also a co-founder of Startovia. So welcome all and happy to join you all.
Thank you, Asma. If you could tell us more about Startovia, like in 1 minute, in order
Yeah,
for people to...
Startovia. Yeah, I launched my business like a year and a half. We are a coaching platform where we guide entrepreneurs to build and validate their own business, especially their business model. The main gap was in the field that usually entrepreneurs don't test their idea before running the whole program or the full featured product. So we tried to fill this gap by matching between the specialist coaches in the field within different industries and the entrepreneurs, the individuals who are trying to build their own business. My journey started within mathematics. I'm a mathematics degree, and then I shifted my career into business entrepreneurship. I was one of the graduates of QRNEC in 2013. Then I had a master's degree in business entrepreneurship, where I taught the course of entrepreneurship in PSUT for almost 3 years. And here I am between project management, training, freelancing, and lecturing. And I believe I gathered all these expertise in one business, which is mine so far. I filled the gap of women, especially when I run in any event. Sometimes I were the only woman in the session. Sometimes I was the youngest within the trainers or within the attendees. So I believe we have a big gap to fill, especially within this years and also within the pandemic, that we can feel and touch all.
Thank you so much, Asma. يعني ما شاء الله, يعني you inspired a lot. So now I will get to Nadine. Nadine, over to you. Of course, Nadine, she's the manager of Jordan's first fabrication laboratory, Fab Lab Irbit. As a passionate creator, she was inspired to enter the Learn by Doing space after attending MIT Academy in 2018. Nadine, please unmute yourself and introduce yourself to us.
Hello all, how are you? Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure to be among such great company today. My name is Nadine Abu Tamer. My background is in computer engineering, but I'm currently managing the first fabrication lab in Jordan, Fab Lab Irbid, which happens to be one of the biggest 20 labs around the world. I first started, since when I was a kid, I really liked to tinker with stuff. So me stumbling across Fab Lab was like a dream come true. And it's been really hard for me as a woman working in the manufacturing sector. So I'm really glad being here today with all these women who are making breakthroughs in their own fields. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Nadine. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, last but not least, which is Rana. Rana is one of the Jordan's leading female youth voices for impact, and she's currently the local president for GCI Amman 2021. She works as a communication specialist also at the Crown Prince Foundation. Hello, Rana. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, how are you? Thank you
You're
so much for this opportunity to be able to celebrate this special day with all the women and everyone. As you said, I am currently the JCI Amman 2021 president. I would like to share this special event with one of the greatest people that unfortunately we have lost yesterday due to COVID-19 pandemic. He is our international vice president and senator, Shadi Zmigna. So I would like to dedicate these efforts to him. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you. I consider myself as a youth activist. As part of JCI, we make sure to empower young people to achieve positive change. JCI aims to develop opportunities for people and assure positive impact around. And we believe that Earth's greatest treasure lies in the human personality, and human beings are born different to achieve something greater. So this is briefly about me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nadine. And now I'm so excited for the questions, and I will start with Ala. But please, guys, whoever is watching now, please feel free to add your question in the comment section. So at the end, we will get back to it. So Ala,
can you see the questions, or do you?
Can
we also read their questions, or we can't see them?
Well, I think we can see them in the comments.
Okay.
So Ala, my question for you is, you tell us, you said that how you start your career, but I want like a full introduction about it. How did your career in filmmaking begin? Is there a story that make Ala like today's Ala?
This is a big question because like I don't know if I'm where I want to be still. So telling my story as a success story, I always like think twice before I do that, to be honest, because am I where I want to be? Is my story the full success that I want it to be? But I am proud of the whole journey that I've been through so far. I would say I started because I was looking for a way to tell stories and to deliver messages, to be specific. At that age, I would say freshman year at university, I was looking for a way where, like, is it writing? Is it journalism? I remember this is why I chose languages to study. That was my main major, Spanish. And then during that, I took scholarship to Spain and I studied Spanish in Granada. And that's where photography skills started. I remember taking pictures of that place. And, we're talking about 2010. So I know I'm still 17 years old. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very proud of how old I am. But at 2010, there was no Instagram. Twitter was really young, Facebook, the way we used to use it. So sharing pictures from there and having like 30 likes and 50 likes for me was a huge deal. And getting these very positive comments and encouragement. And this is where I decided, maybe I'm doing something nice. I'm telling people stories from Granada. And this is how things started with me. But then I realized that landscape was not my passion when I started meeting people in Granada, and then I traveled more and I met more people. I think I have to be honest that I'm a privileged woman. I have a good family. They come from a fine, I would say, middle class family. I went to good schools, but the people I met, they're not all like that. And I thought, why don't I use this privilege to the benefit of others? And this is why I mostly tell stories of people who cannot tell their stories easily. I shed light on those who are scared, who have no want to help them. And I get bullied for that sometimes because people think I'm using them to become famous, rather than if I'm not doing that to protect them, and you're not, to protect them from being used, and you're not supporting them with financials, and you're not giving them homes or money or school or scholarships, how can we help? And this question started being like my slogan: how can I help you? And in any way that I can is spreading your story in the best modest way that would also protect your dignity, whether it's through filmmaking or through pictures and storytelling. My book, Muslims of the World, is about this. It's about 70 Muslims from around the world. I had to travel 12 countries to get these stories. And they tell stories of inspiring stories of these 70 Muslims that had rough times in their lives. This woman that had breast cancer, and her husband basically told her, I don't want you anymore. And, I don't want you anymore. And then she was pregnant when she realized, and she had to go into hospitals alone until she gave birth, and then still go alone. And when she was cured, he came back to her. He's like, oh, let's just stick together. We should be a family. This story hurts. And the fact that she couldn't say it to anyone else but me, and she told it to me like if no one was going to read the book. She was telling me like her life story. She just shared it yesterday. She just shared it last month with the people, knowing that the book is 3 years old. She was so scared to share the book. She was so scared to share her story. Just a month ago, I shared her story again on my IG, and she texted me. She's like, Ala, I'm ready to be tagged. And for me, I was thrilled, and she got so much support. So they empower me. My stories don't empower them, to be honest. I don't know. They say they do, but they empower me to tell stories, because when I see the reaction, when I see the feedback, when I see how powerful the benefits are and what comes out of these stories, I'm ready for the next story. And it's not about Muslims, of course. I mean, Muslims of the World is titled the book, but my journey is about people. It's about human beings. It's about those who don't have access to internet. How can they tell their stories? Through me, through people like me. So,
Wow.
yeah.
It's amazing. I could say like you are the voice of voiceless people. Like I love your motivation.
I want that. I want to be that. But it's like you can never really. I want to be that, but it's a huge target, and I just need to keep working for it.
Well, I think you are already. Yani,
Allah.
I love your motivation. I thank you for being for all women and supporting people in general. So thank you, Ala. Now I will get to ask Asma. Asma, as you are a very successful woman, I want to ask you that question that we all as women in Jordan don't know what is actually the answer. So according to the statistic, the percentage of working women in Jordan is only 14%. So in total, although we all agree that Jordanian women are highly educated, so please, if you can tell us, why do you think this issue exists?
Yes, thank you for the introduction. As well, we should know also that the percentage of small, medium enterprises in Jordan, almost 30 to 37%, and it's highly getting up into 50%. So we really know that being an entrepreneur or having your own business is like becoming a trend, and it's one of the solutions that people are trying to do, especially after the pandemic, so they can have really a good income to establish or build their homes. The sectors in general, or the statistics in general, share that the challenges the entrepreneurs or the women entrepreneurs facing mainly are in three aspects. The first one is the lack of appropriate initial conditions at the startup stage. In some countries, women have less access to education, while we don't have this. But what we have now is the traditions, ثقافة العيب أحيانا, family considerations that they don't want their girls or moms to have their own financial stream or to become an independent within their financial aspects. that would raise also the percentage of having the fear of not establishing their own business. Also, the second aspect are the policies and regulations, the institutions that discriminate against women. Obstacles can range between laws barring from women to obtain bank loans, maybe without man access to the implementation of this regulation. We know also that the bank loans, you should have like an ID of your husband or your father or any kind of men relationship to you. So that was one of the aspects as well. The third aspect is the social norms. Is the social pressure placed on women vary from country to country. We still have this as transition or as a condition within our large families, maybe big families, to prevent their kids, their women, their females to run their own business. Some sectors would have this issue, and other sectors would be easily to adapt more than this. Some statistics shows that women entrepreneur or women-owned businesses, 39% are in the personal service sectors, which mean education, banking, management, and training. This would become easy for women to have these kind of jobs or to run their own businesses within these industries because they have some regulations and facilities to help women to lead their own businesses. But other sectors like wholesale, retailers, international trading would be so much tough for women to enter such kind of market or such kind of sector. It's really hard for them. After pandemics, usually it will become more easier to break these rules because the family needs like any financial stream to enhance their lives, to at least cover the main needs for each family. So we can see that 33% of Jordanian women started their own businesses within like the last year, just only because we have just a pandemic. We also have an issue of registration. We don't have like this like special regulations or special laws for women to establish their own businesses. But recently we know that the ministry announced about the home-based condition for home-based businesses. This could be easy for women to establish and to enhance their mission to build their own businesses. I believe we have a long road, especially among the first countries who are leading this. But I believe we are on the right track, especially after the high growth in changing fast in very fast way of how to deal with the businesses, the changing also for the individuals and how to pay, and the culture of expensing and buying the products and services will for sure enhance the percentage of women who want to lead their own businesses.
Thank you so much, Asma. I think you covered a lot, like all the aspects that we suffer as women in Jordan. And I'm hoping that in the coming years we will get better and better. Thank you so much.
Inshallah. I was one of them as well, yani, facing and opening your own business in such a community which considered also a male community, as in general. It could be like a really hard way, but we know for sure once someone like have their own passion and have the right skills. And for myself, I the first time I've heard about to become a trainer, the first he's a man who told me, was a colleague, told me, you have the skill of delivering a message. I just got this and stick to it, and I know that I have the skills. So what shall I do with this skill? It turns into a profession, then it turns into a business. So most women don't have the right track, or maybe don't have the good support. I'm happy as well to have a good support from friends, from family who helped me through this journey. So hopefully all the women as well have this backbone.
Well, inshallah. Like this the main purpose of this session, to inspire other girls and women, that to tell them that you have a lot to do and you can do anything in this world. Thank you so much, Asma. you now, Nadine. Nadine, I remember in the past 2 months, I was reading the percentage of women and men in university majors in Jordan, especially. Like I have saw the industrial majors, girls are less compared to men. Why do you think the problem is?
I'm sorry, it looks like my internet is a bit slow, so I didn't get the question.
Okay, so I'll repeat again. So Nadine, I remember that the past 2 months I was reading the percentage of men and women in university majors. So I found out that the industrial majors, girls are less compared to men. Why do you think we lack in this kind of majors?
Well, I want to emphasize what Asna said before. I think it's mostly social norms and the idea of what a man can do and what a woman can't. And it's these, sorry?
No, continue. We can hear.
And it's these social norms that are actually creating the main barrier. So once we break through that, we can actually have more women engaging and participating in industrial sectors. And we can do that by reaching the younger generation and telling them that there is no limit to what a woman can do. And there is no such thing as a major specific field, or that a man can't do nursing, for example, or a woman can do mechanical engineering. And the fact that companies as well do not provide fair hiring policies for women, or even equal pay opportunities for women, that's all factors to why women do not engage or do not participate in industrial sectors, starting from their education all the way to their actual careers.
Thank you so much, Nadine. Thank you. Rena, sorry for being late. My question for you is, if you can tell us what are the difficulties that you have encountered in your professional journey?
Thank you, Taima, and thank you for all the ladies for sharing the stories. I believe we have some mutual concerns and struggles, let's say. Throughout my journey, honestly, the one thing that was the key struggle or challenge, let's say, was the motivation coming from the surrounding. Being a woman is not easy when it comes to motivating the action. Throughout, I had so many experiences where I had to go to certain meetings in certain areas where women generally are not very empowered. Therefore, the communities will not be listening to a woman coming to share the knowledge and experience with them. That was one challenge. Another challenge, as my colleague mentioned, is the fact that there are so many professions or activities that are considered male or man oriented, such as painting walls, let's say, or renovating homes, installing solar panels. Throughout my time with JCI and volunteering since 2013, we had to go through all of these activities. And it was a struggle to convince people that we can get the job done perfectly. But we did, thankfully. We were a group of men and women with the leadership of women there, and the jobs were done perfectly. And those were mostly the difficulties that we faced, just being encountered as not able to do the job that is man or male oriented.
Thank you so much, Rana. I'm so proud of you. Like, you are a great inspiration for all of us. Thank you. Back to you, Ala, with the second question. As you are a woman and a director, do you think that this field in filmmaking industry play an equal role with men in terms of opportunities and support, let's say? Ala, if you could unmute yourself.
Am I muted?
Yeah, no, you can hear now.
Oh, the host has muted me. No, can you hear me?
Yeah.
The host is playing with my mic. Got it. But I really wanted to thank you, all of you, all my friends and colleagues. It's been fun listening to you. And Rana, thank you for breaking stereotypes. Because, I remember taking a picture with a girl who works in a gas station here in Amman. And people were like, you're not supposed to support her. She's doing that. At least don't share it. She has to. I'm like, no, I'm sharing it. I'm going to go to that gas station every single morning if I have money for it. But
yes, ma'am. Good job. Awesome.
So I'm going to tell you a quote, actually. from Jennifer Lawrence. She's an actress. She's saying women negotiate for higher pay, worry about being or seeming difficult or spoiled, because women, when they ask for the same basic rights that men have, they are even called crazy, a Looney Tune, insane, difficult, challenging, spoiled. She has all these adjectives that comes with her name once she's tough or once she's very firm about what she wants or determined. And same goes in the film industry. We had a lot of stories, I wouldn't say personally like in my team, just generally worldwide, guys, but sexual harassment, rape cases, and also women where they had like leading actresses worldwide where they had to give up their bodies to take a role. You might say, oh, but she did this voluntarily. I mean, nobody forced her to. It's not that. It's abusing your power. It's like when you are a boss or a principal or a manager at a company, and this small young employee wants to grow. She's a female, wants to grow into the ladder of becoming a manager or something big in the company, and then you start abusing her by calling her nice names as sexual harassment, and then touching her, and then calling her into your office, and then step by step she feels like she's dragged into this world that she has to accept, because eventually she tells herself, I will grow, I will become a manager, and I'll be able to get rid of this man. But you'll never get rid of what he did to you. And in the film industry, the highest actress in the world, in America, I would say America because it's a leading section for the filmmaking, she's paid like the best third actor in America. And like every 100 film that win the Oscar, there's only 1 or 2 women among them. And I'm telling the numbers worldwide because if they're like that in America, you can guess what the numbers are in Jordan and in the Arab region. One of the movies, it's called, I need to remember that. It's a Saudi film. I know. Okay, Wajda. It's called Wajda. It's a Saudi film by a film director, a female one, that she had to direct the whole film while staying in a bus. Like she had to close the bus, close the windows, and direct the whole film from inside. That was in the early, like 10 years ago around. Now things are changing, luckily, but they're not changing fast enough. So being a woman in this industry, to be honest, personally, I was able, because I'm a director and the founder and co-founder, my husband is a co-founder as well, we were able to build a strong team where women and men have equal positions. You're better than another person by your skill. That's it. Show me your skill, and then you will get the job. There's no man can do it, a woman can do it. But we can almost never find the DOP, which is like director of photography. And it's funny that I work in a lot of projects with the UN, UNFPA, NGOs, women empowerment, PSAs, public videos, and there are a lot of women. So my team now became like kind of feminist because all they work with a lot of women. So I'm not a feminist. It's just like the label is I'm not ready for it. But I stand with women with a lot of what they ask for. And I just feel that sometimes I would say that, just to throw it in there, wearing a scarf or wearing a hijab makes it more challenging even to like, they call me a feminist as an insult. It's like a feminist, like you're a big X. I'm like, when I tell them I'm not, they're like, you have to be something. Like you cannot just be a regular, a girl wearing a scarf. You have to be labeled. You have to have an agenda to be standing for women's rights. I'm like, no, I just believe that women have the same skills men do. Right. I'm not saying about body power. We don't need muscles anymore when you come to running companies. We don't need higher voices, stronger bodies. All we need is good minds and brains. And women have that. So let's discuss who have more skills than who have more body power or louder voice or basic legal rights. So I don't know if I answered your question because you touched a very sensitive point, but
absolutely you did. Thank you so much, Ala. Thank you. And to be to be true, like you represent Jordanian women in this industry in an amazing image. So thank you,
Oh,
Ala.
thank you. So kind of you.
Now I will get to Asma. Asma, my second question for you before getting to Nadine. In which sector do you think Jordan support women entrepreneurship?
Usually, according to statistics, education, banking, and management and training are the top three sectors that supporting entrepreneurs. In addition to what Ala said, I want to highlight also that the rules of labors in the market are running by men to fit men conditions. I know that women, as well as Ala said, that they have the skills and the right skills to do something or to build as much as what men do, but they need special circumstances, special conditions, special regulations to help them do that. Uh, let's have a case of a woman who become a pregnant, who become a mom. There will be a disaster or a nightmare how to balance between her job and her house and the responsibilities, the new responsibilities she has now. But I know that there will be changing in responsibilities. هلا ده the man they يعني could not understand this, but I know that the rules or the laws in the Jordanian labor laws are somehow start to support the women in this condition. And we know also مثلا social insurance also support the women for 3 months to have her salary without any changing or any costing other costs. We know also that I just checked the list of the top 10 richest women in the world. I was really shocked that none of them is a self entrepreneur or a self-made millionaire. All of them were a family members. That would highlight another issue of being an entrepreneur. To have your own business individually sometimes is wrong. If you have a good family background, if you have a skill who can anyone support you within your background and your environment, would be a good chance of becoming a rich. Maybe I wrote once in GoDaddy and know how to make your first $1 million. One of them was Uber ideas. So it was like a simple idea, but how you can scale it up into many countries. So the sectors in Jordan, some way supporting, especially we are seeing now an improvement of these sectors, but others like international trading is so hard for women to enter such market. And I know for sure after the pandemic there are many changing in even the stereotype of doing work. So just like have an online or home-based work is before was like no way to have your job back to home or to have an off day and work at home. But now it's become the up normal to work at home, and so mom can balance somehow or order her responsibilities among others. I know there is no such like balancing in life, but it's all about responsibilities and how you can order your responsibilities and priorities in your life. Even Jeff of Amazon said like this as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nadine. And I
Thank
want to highlight on this, like the main purpose of the Health Prize Foundation is to empower youth and to give them the opportunities to reach their higher potential in business. So thank you, Nadine. Thank you so much, Asma. Sorry. Now I want to remind all who's watching us to add their questions in the comment section so we can share them at the end. So now, Nadine, sorry. My question for you is, I would love to hear from you an honest answer, a piece of advice to all girls that they want to get in your field of production and making.
Well, I want to give an advice to all youth, not just girls. So my advice to girls out there is if you want to do production or get into manufacturing, don't let somebody tell you what you can and cannot do. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. So do what you want to do. If you know that this is what you want to do, pursue it. And my advice to male out there is you have to be a supporter for women. Do not make our lives harder. All we want is just to be treated as a human being. Don't treat me as a gender based on my gender. Treat me as if I was a human being, and just treat me based on my skills. And as all my colleagues have said before, there is no limit what we can do as women. So pursue what you want to do. If you want to stay home and raise kids, do that. If you want to go and get into filmmaking, do that. If you want to do manufacturing and run a fab lab, you can do that. So there's no limit to what you can do as long as you're doing what you want.
Thank you so much, Nadine. Thank you for the amazing advice, and I hope it will inspire a lot. Thank you. Now get back to you, Rena, with a question. I'm curious. I want to know more about your journey of influence, how it started.
Well, it's a nice story, so buckle your seatbelts. I remember I was part of a school or a community where they empowered women so much. And Her Excellency Mrs. Haifa Najjar was always telling us throughout growing up, you are not a number. So we grew up believing, and we still do believe, that we're not a number and we can make a change. So when I entered university, the first time they were taking the attendance, the professor was like, 2011 0514. So that was the shocking moment of realizing, oops, I might be a number. And this is where I decided to take action. And this is the moment where I believe that we all need motivation and we all can make a change. And that's the journey, the beginning of my journey. And since 2007, I remember the first time I started volunteering, and that was the starting point for that journey. In 2013, it came to life when I took part of JCI in the university, and I made the identity clearer. We are not numbers, we are humans of impact, and we are active citizens who are able to make a difference and make a positive change. And it's all about assurance, or assuring to transfer the significance and the energy of the surrounding. It's all about the motivation. Being a leader or being part of JCI by default trains you to become a leader. A leader does not mean having a team of hundreds or tens of people. It's all about being able to change that energy and pushing people and motivating them to make a change. And this is when we all started being influential in implementing projects in the community, within our community, whether they were for self-development, business development, even international relations or community service as a main base. The journey also took us through participating with other clubs and initiatives towards the same impact and the development of youth. This is where we all assured that youth are being part of the community. We are being inclusive to all members of the society. Being a woman throughout was basically being able to find the information. I don't know if my friends also found that issue. It's harder for women to actually get the information to achieve something. So for example, if you want to create an event somewhere in a certain governorate, the whole process of the paperwork and everything was really hard being a woman, because walking into a ministry or a certain office of professional, they are mostly men in the employment aspect. So being a woman asking for information was a bit hard. Like, okay, what do you want? It doesn't make sense. You always had to have this guy to get the things done. So I believe we had a good footprint of impact as women and men in one team, of course, to get that information we need. So this is like briefly our journey to assure we are people and humans of impact and positive change.
Well, amazing journey. Amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. Thank you, Nadine. And thank you, Rena. Now, I want to ask you a general question to all of you. Today is the Women's Day, so I want you all to give you the chance to tell us who is the woman that inspired you the most. I will start with Ella.
I had this nightmare at school. They always start with me because my name starts with A. The first one. So I need a second. I think I need a second. This is such a huge question.
Fine. So take your
Maybe
time.
I can answer. Yeah, maybe I can help in this. I believe even I'm not a famous or I'm not like a very hilarious about having a one day for women or something. It has two-sided. I know that it's a good to have one day to recommend and to remember all the efforts that women in the world put, because we know that the half of the world are women and the half of the rest of the world are women who's raising. So I know for sure that we have this effort to put, but I would say that every woman we had in life has a small impact to add to our journey, and I believe all of women has this. All the ladies, my mom, my sister, my grandmother, my friend, my teacher as well. Every one of these has their own touch, their own kind of supporting, maybe even their own kind of praying for us, maybe a touch, a hug, a word. All that would affect us as a woman, I believe, Yani. So thank you, all my women in life, my backbones. And also, I want to highlight something. It's not fair as well to eliminate all the efforts of a really good man in our lives. I would say for now, يعني my dad, Allah يرحمه, in عن جد,
يرحمه.
he was like my first support in life. I know if he was here now, he would be the most يعني individual proudest men in life for having his five girls. We are five girls in home. We don't have any brothers, but he has the most impact in our lives. I know for sure every woman as well has her own men backbone who support her, like in word, in money, maybe in hug, in a travel, anything, any kind of support. I believe every one of us maybe has or dream of having someone to have in her life.
Well, thank you, Asma. And I'm sure that your dad, Allah yarhamu, he's so proud of you all. Thank you for sharing this with us. Nadine, if you do have the answer.
Well, I've been blessed by being surrounded with such amazing women who are very much inspiring. My grandma, for example, who is, Allah yarhamha, who was able to raise my father, who is actually a supporter for women and who has supported me in every journey of my life. My mother, who is also a maker, so I learned everything from her. She doesn't know a limit to what a woman can do. You can find her with a chainsaw cutting something. And my sister, who's actually the first doctor in our family. So I've been really surrounded by very inspiring women in my life. Also, my colleagues at work, men and women, they all supported me through this journey. So I have a lot of inspiring people in my life. And I wish every woman in the world has that. You can find my brother actually commenting some jokes on the YouTube channel right now. So I hope every woman has that kind of support in her life.
Amazing. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you so much. Now, Rana, please.
Hi. Well, that's a tough question, but I would say the women of Jordan. Honestly, I'm just thinking so many women that I look up to, starting from the queens to the parliament, to the ministries, to the managers. I mean, we have been rated as the country with the highest percentage of female managers in 2019. What more do we need? And definitely my mother and my sisters, all my friends, and I would definitely agree with all my friends regarding the men. My father is also my number one supporter, my brother, my old managers, my current managers, my colleagues, the ladies who are in JCI, the older and the younger. So honestly, it's just the most beautiful energy you can ever have.
Sure, Rana. We all also proud of you, and you work an amazing work. Thank you, Rana. Back to you, Ala.
I just want to say, the answers were like, I thought we had to say a name. I was like, no, I can't say a name. And then Asma started this chain of thanking everyone. Thank you, Asma. But I'm going to say a short story. I was running for elections at University of Jordan, and those who live in Jordan knows how big deal that is. It was like how headache that is, I would say. So, and I remember it was 6 a.m. where they would open the gates at university so you could put the posters for election. It was, you can't post anything before 6 a.m. So people would be like at the gates at 6 a.m., like waiting for the gates to open so they could run and their teams and just put posters every single corner. And guess who was next to me? It was Dad. My father was
Uh,
there like 5:30 a.m. He has his posters and he had his stickers and he's like, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get all the trees, we're gonna get the all, and he was standing there. My mom at the same time, she was at home scared for me because it's not an easy experience. And I was the first female to win that seat at the Kulit Al-Adab for like a very, very long time. It used to, like, male students used to win it. So I had these two figures where mom used to tell me how to take care of myself, like go out there, but tell me how to take care of myself. My dad would be telling me, like, when you go out there and you like apply your mom's advices, I'll be right there next to you holding your hand. So like this mix of parents that I had in my life is a blessing. And I would say here, Asma is one of my closest friends, and she has been an amazing, amazing supporter the whole road. And like Asma, I have a few that I cannot just mention, so I won't forget anyone. But thank you for every woman that thought that she can be a queen, but also fix her friend's crown, as they say. Queens fix each other's crowns.
Thank you so much, Ala. Thank you. My question, I'm like, I would love to hear from you. What thing you feel women in Jordan still need to achieve to be there, like to be all proud of Jordanian women?
All right, let's do this, guys.
Go ahead, Ala.
Well, we need a lot, to be honest. We need a lot. We cannot ignore the fact that we are a third world country. Sure. And that women rights is not a priority in Jordan still. Women in entrepreneurship, women leading positions is not a priority still in Jordan. If we were not fighting for it, to be honest, we would not have taken it. So yes, we have to fight for everything that we have right now, and we're still fighting for it because, you know, it's not time for us. Fine, we'll make it our time. And even the humblest laws, like, you know, for a rapist not to marry his victim, we had to fight for that. Like every time I remember that, I was like, I'm in an awe of like the fact that we had to fight for this law. So what we need is more stage for women. If you're a woman manager, you have to think of a way that woman could be 50% of your company. And I tell this and I can't apply it. I tell it to myself and I still can't apply because I cannot find women enough working in the film industry. But if we all still always think about it, we eventually will create teams that are equal skills, men and women. We're not saying all women, although we can, but let's not be like men and women. If we don't give them spaces and positions, who will?
Amazing. Thank you, Ala. Rana.
Well, I'm thinking about your question. I would say the first thing we need is motivation. That's number one. Yes. Okay, motivation. Ladies, get out there. Make a choice. It's all about you. Just make that choice. Learn. Fill yourself with the knowledge. Try. Expect. Hope. Smile. Fail. Get out there. I think you just need to get out there. They should stop being scared. Dream and think big, and always ask. Dig further. You will find the answer. I believe everyone, all the great ladies with us on the panel, have seen it. If you don't dig, if you don't spend a day looking for one information, it's not achievement. So we've been there. Just take it there. Be productive. They need that. We have the platform, so they need to look. There are platforms, there are initiatives, there are other women who are willing to support women become better, find their chances. So this is the main advice I would give to youth and women. It's just be motivated, get out there.
Thank you, Rana, and thank you for the amazing advice. Asma, we would love to hear.
Well, I would be hard a little bit about a race. I know that there is a common thought that women are jealous from others women as well. So I believe, first of all, we need women who support women. We need friends who support friends. We need colleagues who support colleagues. I feel that sometimes we are hard on ourselves as well. And from my experience, I know that mentorship and coaching is also a good solution would be, or a good approach to have for women. I've tried this before within entrepreneurs, but I believe if we have a woman mentors who could mentors or coach other women would be more realistic to have a woman or people who understand ourselves, understand our conditions. Even when we share with them our stories, would be empathize with us about our stories, our journey. It will be fair enough for us to have someone who's within the same, who's wearing the same shoes as we wear. So I believe it will be very realistic for us to have someone who has lived the journey before and who's trying to help others to live their journey again within their own experience and their own conditions. So please, women, be easy for each other.
Thank you, Asma. And I hope we all suffer from this. I wish that we all stand and support each other in Jordan, in the Middle East, and to get there and to be proud. Thank you, Asma. I would love to hear from Nadine.
Hi. So I don't want to get political, but I think we need the government to have our backs more. I want to take a moment and just to all the women who lost their lives in the past year due to social norms. We need the government. Yeah, we need the government to have our backs more. We need to be. We're not scared for our lives to be able to achieve more. So adding to all what the amazing ladies have said, we need protection first before we can get motivation, before we can get access to education. That's the first thing that we need.
Thank you, Nadine. Thank you so much.
Can I add something? I think it supports Rena's message of motivation, which protection, like it's very interesting point of view, like how protection would allow these things to happen. But Shirley Sandberg, she works at Facebook, and she had a like a TED talk, I think, or it was a talk, and she was saying that women are not. They are over prepared. They go to this meeting and they need to know everything before they go there, and they prepare everything. If they're not, they wouldn't go, or they would cancel this meeting, or they would just say, oh, I'm not ready for this job. Men would go there even in their pajamas. If they woke up late and they were like their PJs, they would go in there. And she's like, because women are afraid to fail, because society doesn't give them a second chance. And when I thought about that, I was like, oh my God, this is so true. A lot of the risks that we don't take, it's because we don't want to call, oh, see, she's a woman and she failed us. She's a woman and she was upset and she did it wrong. You say, woman, look at her, because we are afraid of this. But maybe we need to do it too many times until it gets fine. We need to fail too many times until it's fine, so we can take the risks that we can actually take. So I just wanted to leave with this note.
Thank you so much, Ala. It's amazing. Before we end, I want to remind you all and who's watching us today about the next session, which is on March 16th, about the exponential technology. And in conclusion, thank you all. Thank you. Four amazing women, Ala, Nadine, Rana, Asma. Thank you for joining us and to share your ideas, your stories, and your inspiration with us. And thank you all for who's watching us today. And happy International Women's Day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
Happy International Women's Day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.